Have you ever faced a challenge that at the time you felt was almost impossible to overcome? Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Now last week I talked about how women over 40 and 50 and 60, because I had a few comments about people saying that they were over 60. So listen, if you've had over 20 years work experience of life, then you have something that others might be willing to pay for. So getting back to the challenge. Now, if you've experienced any challenge and you've come out the other side, there are people out there who are going through the same challenge, probably stuck there and looking for your experience. How did you overcome that challenge? Now, my name is Mojo and my brand is about helping you, women, monetizing their knowledge, skills, and experience. And I'll give you a personal story. I have struggled with time management for years. When I was in university, I used to study all the hours God sent. So I'll study from dawn to dusk. And guess what? I had nothing to show for it. And because I'm someone who likes to kind of be a bit more productive and try to find new strategies of improving on what I've always done, I read a book which I've talked about on my channel. I'll put that up there. So at the time I was studying for my accountancy exams, and if anyone has tried those exams, they are pretty challenging. And I just thought the way I studied for my university education is not going to work. So I did some research, came across Tony Busan's book, and was able to find a way to study where my return on the time invested was much better. So if you're interested, I spent a lot of my time going through revision kits and doing questions, answers, just trying to solidify my knowledge. And I spent no more than between 3 and 4 hours a day. And bear in mind, I had a full-time job and 2 young children to take care of. And I was able to pass those exams first time. And since I've adopted this policy or strategy, I've never failed an exam. And because the brain cannot do much work at a time. So spending 8 hours, 10 hours studying is a waste of time, because what is important when you're studying is recall. Anyway, enough about that. So coming back to time management, I realized I was not spending my time well. So I started to do some research into time management. Now, since I was able to overcome time management, I decided to write a book about the strategies that helped me. And one thing I actually want to point out here is the 80-20 rule. I don't know if you've heard about Pareto law, and what it tells us is that 80% of what we do only produces 20% of our results, which inversely means that we only need to do 20%. We need to identify the 20% that we do on a daily basis to produce the 80% results. If I go back to my studying example, you can see that that translates, because I was spending a lot of hours and not getting the results. And yet when I reduced those hours and worked more productively, smarter, I was getting the results. But the problem with most of us, including myself, is that we're busy doing the things that don't push the needle, don't give us the results we want. So research has it that those who are able to identify that 20% they need to focus on do much better. And as you can see, I was able to monetize the challenge I had, and every week now I sell copies of this book on Amazon, because time management is a big challenge for all of us. I'm not excluded. It's still a work in progress for me, but at least I identify the strategies I can use to make me work better. So the question is, what challenge is it that you've tried to overcome, or what challenge have you overcome that others would be willing to pay for? And there are so many. It could be that you've lost weight, it could be time, it could be starting a business, it could be traveling. A lot of women like to travel, but some of us don't have partners, don't have friends who are able to take the time off. There are women online who show women how to travel solo, giving them all the strategies, the tips, what they should be aware of, how to book, how to travel cheaply, the places to go, and they're making money out of this. So what challenge? Is it buying a house over 40, finding a relationship over 50, being able to bring your family together, relocating to another country? What challenge have you overcome? Is it sickness? Whatever it is, you can monetize that. Remember, you are sitting on a gold mine. And you might be thinking, oh, a challenge, I don't want to talk about that. But listen, challenges, I don't know if you've heard the saying that every setback is a setup for a comeback. I'll repeat that. Every setback is a setup for a comeback. So anything you've actually experienced which might not have gone the way you want is an opportunity to, yes, monetize. Why not? We actually have to change our mindset and begin to reframe how we see challenges. There are a lot of famous people who have made money. Writers, a lot of writers, authors make money from their experiences in life, bad experiences. Those who write about losing a loved one. There are so many things, so pick a challenge and write about it. We're reaching a time now where jobs are not actually that easy to come by. Jobs, not only are they not easy to come by, no one's hanging on to employees as long as you would expect them to. So now having a side hustle is actually becoming the norm, having something on the side. So if you're over 40, 50, 60, when are you going to start your side hustle? Because that pension may not be enough. Your job may not be as secure as you thought it was. And why not, become a bit independent and start to see how you can make money online? It's a difficult one because for some of us, 9 to 5 has been the norm, but that's beginning to change. And for some of us as well, we've been told that, oh, you need so many years of experience to start your own business. I was told the same thing in my 30s when I wanted to start a business. But we all know that's not true. There are 14, 15, 16-year-olds making millions online. Yes, TikTok, Instagram, and even YouTube. And when we talk about digital products online, if you have a challenge that you've overcome, you can set up your YouTube channel, talk about it. As long as whatever challenge you've had, when you educate others, they're transformed, i.e. they had a challenge and now you're able to walk them through and get a solution at the end, because people pay for solutions. So if your challenge is something that would help people from A to B, i.e. they were going through a lot of stress, maybe because they wanted to travel, friends weren't available, and you were able to give them a solution as to how they can travel stress-free, happy. You're helping them to achieve their goals, and you've transformed the way they think about travel. So I've got a link to a SWOT sheet which can help you to look at your strengths, your weaknesses, opportunities and threats, and identify some of those skills that you can monetize and create a digital product with. And I'm also writing my book on digital products, the different ways you can make money from that. So that book will be coming out shortly. I'm working on it. So if you're interested in that, definitely join my mailing list below, because those who come first will be given some kind of bonus. And I'll be running a webinar in conjunction with the book just to answer your questions and help you identify those gold mines in your mind, in your skills, knowledge, and experience. Now, another thing I want to talk about is imposter syndrome, because research tells us that 75% of women actually experience imposter syndrome. So what is imposter syndrome? It's when we do something and we think we're a fraud or we don't deserve it, or who are we to be talking about this? And let me put your mind at rest. Even the most successful Hollywood actors feel they have imposter syndrome. J-Lo. A lot of famous people have admitted to having this imposter syndrome. So you're not alone. I have it. Every time I come to do a YouTube video, I'm thinking, yeah, what are people going to say? But that feeling goes away as you get better. And the imposter syndrome will always be there, but you just have to keep it moving. It's like fear. Feel the fear and do it anyway. You just need to keep on moving. It's just like speakers. A lot of them have butterflies when they start to speak on stage, but they just feel it. Yeah, okay, that's a feeling, but I'm going to go on anyway. If you allow imposter syndrome to hold you ransom, then you're going to achieve very little. Just get up and do it. I know Nike said it, just do it, but that's all there is to it. There's no magic pill. There's no magic bullet. You are not going to wake up one morning and find that, oh, imposter syndrome disappeared. It's not going to happen. You are the one who is going to take action. What are you waiting for? And one thing I also want to remind you is we're getting old, you know. I'm going to be 60 very, very shortly. And we are getting old. And you know what they say about the most successful authors, digital entrepreneurs, you know where they end up? In the grave. Because a lot of us will take those talents, skills, experience, knowledge to the grave because we were too scared to take action. Don't let that be your story. And in our community, we don't leave enough legacies and not enough stories are being passed down. We don't document here, documentation. And now with social media and all these online platforms, we have the opportunity to document our stories for our grandchildren. Anyway, in the comments below, share what do you think about digital products? Is this something that you've been thinking about? What challenge would you like to monetize? Don't know what happened to my finger, but I'm having to wear this brace because it is very, very painful. Very painful. So, and I went to the doctor and they said, yeah, it's age related. So, anyway, please don't forget to like, comment below, and share this video. And I'll be back next week to talk about more things about digital products and why you should join me online. And if you are struggling with time management, do get a copy of my book. It's on Amazon and all good retailers online. Bye.